What it do? Today we're gonna talk about creating your dream self, sculpturing your dream self on each aspect of life. So the mental aspect, the physical aspect, and the spiritual aspect, you need to have goals. For a lot of people don't know what spirituality actually is. Spirituality is just being. So everything is whole, nothing is separated. Everything just is. That's where a lot of people go wrong. That's where a lot of people go wrong. People think it's certain exercise you need to do. It's certain, no, not really. Not really. That's why things as meditation are spiritual practices. And the funny thing is, meditation is also a physical practice. Why? Because there is no separation. They're the same. When thinking and doing are combined, you'll get to the spiritual aspect, which is thinking is the mental aspect and doing is the physical aspect. And that's why you need to sculpture yourself. And this takes time. This is like right now I'm learning a lot of new skills. So I'm learning Adobe Illustrator. I'm learning Adobe XD. Yesterday I looked at some Photoshop. I'm planning to learn Premiere Pro. Those are all new skills. What will happen at first is your mind, so which is the first aspect of creation, won't be far enough to do whatever your thought. Let's say I'm gonna give you an example of Illustrator. Let's say I wanna recreate this thing. Okay, so that is my thought, that is my thinking, that's the mental aspect of it. But now I need to actually do it. But my skill level of Adobe Illustrator is not that high. So what will happen? I will never recreate it like this. So the way it will never be like that. And that's the spiritual aspect of it. So thought, which is the goal of making this, doing, which is actually physically doing, recreating this, creates the spiritual aspect. So they are always together. They are always working together. Whenever you're doing something that improves your body, you're doing a spiritual act. Whenever you're doing something that improves your mentality, you're doing a spiritual act. But like I said, sculpture yourself. You gotta make for yourself a goal, which is the mental aspect. The first aspect of creation is the mental aspect. You need to set a goal for yourself. Okay, I want to be here. I want to be here. And then you need to lay out steps for yourself that you need to do. And the goal can be very big, but the steps that you need to do need to be small. Why? They need to be realistically for the level that you are in life right now. Because your goal can be make $1 million. Would it be realistically to expect yourself that you have it in a week? No. So the action steps need to be small, need to be according to your current level of life. And that will only improve being. That will only improve. So that's why I've posted this today on Twitter. Business is like a modern vehicle for spirituality, because what you do is you create something within your mind, which is a goal. You're gonna recreate it in the physical world through doing, and that will only improve your way of being. That's why you get in these flow states, because mentality and the physical aspect are combined. That's when the spiritual realm, that's when you enter the spiritual realm. And that's also why if you're only thinking, you will get anxious. Why you will get anxious? Because you're only you neglect the other level of creation, which is the physical aspect. You're only thinking about it. You're only mental masturbating. That's what they say, right? You're only thinking about it. You're only thinking, I want to do Now you become anxious now, because now you will start to overthinking. Now you're already thinking about what you need to do in about 2 years. When for some of y'all, But some days for me too. For some of y'all, the only physical goal that you need to do is just start that laptop and start the program or start the thing that you need to do. Start writing the words. For some of y'all, for some days of me, that's the same. That's just the only that's your action step. That's what you need to do. So like, yeah, you can't neglect those things. So when you have a goal for yourself, you need to have a mental, you need to need to have a mental visualization of it. That's why you need to write your vision. That's why your vision, right? Because even you write down the vision on a paper, the vision is not yet physical though, and that's where a lot of people also get confused. The vision is not yet physical. It's still only on the mental aspect of creation, because I can write on paper $1 million. That's not the physical representation of $1 million. The physical representation of $1 million will be the actual $1 million in money wise, not in words. So you need to write that vision. You need to write that vision. Then you need to lay out the action steps that you need to do and take those small steps. Take those very small steps. Write down the skills that you need to learn and be realistically with yourself. If you're learning a new skills, would it realistic for yourself to expect that you'll be an expert in a week? No. And that's very important. You always need to balance the thinking and the doing together. Only thinking is tutorial hell, because you're only soaking up information. You're not doing anything with it. And of course, the mental aspect of creation starts there. So you need to first think about what's possible before you can make it possible. But if you never actually make it possible through taking steps, then you will never get there. That's why courses and all these things are very good. But nowadays, I see courses more like a way of gaining ideas, and then you need to take action on those ideas, because you will lie to yourself. That's basically what you're doing when you're learning a course and you get an idea like, damn, I can do this and that. But you're not going to try it out. You're just going to continue to hold the hand of the course instructor. Not going to do anything with it, not taking any steps. You're continuing to lying against yourself, because your mental thought is, I want to create this. Because whenever you have that thought of you want to do something, you created it mentally. But now you're going to neglect it and not actually create it by not combining any steps with it. So that's when I say sculpture yourself. Write goals for your identity. Write goals for what does your business need to look like. And why I say sculpture is a continuous process. The process never stops. Your first sculpture will be kind of like, it wouldn't be formless, but the form is not that within your mind. And that's why I say it takes time. You won't physically create your vision in like what? I would say in a year. Otherwise, your vision is too small. Your vision need to be big as fuck. Your vision need to be something that realistically only be accomplished through like 10 years. Something like that. At least 5. But the bigger, the better. But the action steps need to be small. Because that's the sculpturing of the thing, right? So it's good. It's good to envision yourself that you want to sculpture like the beautiful tiger. Like, this is just an example, right? You want to sculpture the beautiful tiger with like all these details and all those. It's the perfect thing. But realistically, would it be realistically for yourself to expect that you will do that in a week? No, because you don't have any sculpture skills. So your first sculpture will be kind of formless. It will be better than the previous one though, because you took some steps. You did something. Right. So, bro, like I was really thinking about like why those, bro, like you need to realize, why are those people, all those those successful people like Alex or Mosey, Dan Cow, and all those big creators, if you look at their stories, there is a lot of spirituality in it. Why? Because every entrepreneur combines the thinking with the doing, which is like the mental aspect, of creation, and then they're gonna actually create the thing in the physical realm. And that's like the closest way you will get to God mode. And this might sound weird for a lot of people that like in a true religion sense, but you need to look at it like this. God is basically the creator, and you are the creator on an individual level if you are able to physically create the things that you can mentally envision. That's the true thing that you need to reach, right? That's a true level. That's where everything like that's where everything, all the good feelings, the good dopamine, that's where it will all come down to. Because each time when we are doing all those bad habits, we're only trying to do that. And the biggest, because because that's a funny thing. Now I'm my vision becomes more clear. I'm writing it down more clear. But if I look back at my vision a year ago, it was already the kind of like the same sculpture, but now it's just in more details. But I already knew what I wanted to do. But the thing that I liked was taking steps, and now I'm gradually taking more steps and more steps. So that's a very important thing. You need to really take those steps. But the thing that's gonna stop you from taking steps is trauma. And why I say that is, will just be a short guide on it. Like, trauma keeps you stuck on the first level of creation, which is the mental aspect. So the thing is, I think I've talked about this before. Like, all the people that you see that never have taken any steps, they have the same thought process as you, though. They had the same goals as you. But the only thing is, they never took action. And they never took action because they never saw themselves capable of taking action. Because that's basically the whole trauma thing, right? They lost connection with themselves. They lost their ability to do their things. You feel me? They have the things. I call them the imaginary ghosts, right? So what will happen often with trauma is they got fiercely judged by their parents for the thing that they were doing, even though the thing that they were doing was just normal, because like I've said, it was just being. They were just being. When a child is pure, while the child is pure, the child is so pure because the thinking and the doing, so the mental and the physical aspect of creation are immediately carried out. They're so fresh from the universe. They're so connected with the universe. A child thinks and immediately does the thing. That's why children are spiritual beings, because they're really being. Because remember, thinking and doing is being. They always take action, and if you get judged for that, right, then you lose the ability to believe in yourself, and you start to basically connect yourself with shame, and you see yourself through a shameful lens. And what will happen is, you want to start a business, but you hear the voice of those people. Nah, man, what the fuck are you doing, man? This is so weak. What you're doing, this is so bad. Why do you talk about these things? You're weird. And that feels so real, even though it only exists in their own mind. Nobody really thinking about you. Maybe not even your parents. Your parents maybe judge you back then, but their entire mentality shifted. But that's not even that important, because it's only in your mind. And that's why I say, if something is in your mind, like I've said, the mental aspect is the first of creation. So you have already created it in your mind. So if I can be let's say all the girls in the world want me, but in my mind I'm ugly, then none of the girls will actually have me, because I will just carry out things. I would just do things in a way that will make people change their beliefs about me. They'll be like, damn, I thought he was a beautiful man, but now, no. you're gonna act weird because that's the thing in your mind. You already abandoned yourself in your mind, so that will your physical, the physical aspect will just reflect that. So yeah, that was really a short guide about trauma, but that's the thing that's stopping people from taking action, because everybody deep down got a vision, everybody deep down got a goal. Because remember, that's where we, like, the purpose of life is growth. The purpose of life is growth. So your purpose is doing whatever ensures growth, and all the bad habits don't ensure growth, but the vision that you want, the big thing that you want, do ensure growth. And that's why I say, like, business is a spiritual, is the spiritual vehicle for, is a modern vehicle for spirituality. Why? Because when you're doing business, you need to solve problems. When you're doing business, you need to solve problems, and you will get money from that. But the entire solving of problems ensures that more people can grow in life, which is the purpose of growth. So the purpose of life is basically ensuring growth, and the best way how you can do that is through a business. The best way you can do that is through a business. That's why I say you need to really outline that project for yourself, sculpture yourself, right? Not even outline a project. The project need to be whole, because, like, remember the all, and I name it the all because I call it the all because all people always say the universe, but basically when I'm talking about the all, I'm kind of speaking like the universe, but the all is just more bigger, because, like, remember, the all doesn't know any separation. It is all exceeding. It's the all, that outside of that there is nothing. So even calling it the universe, that means you have the universe and then you have other things. But if you speak about the all, it's no separation possible. It's the all. So the universe is combined with it. You are within it. He is within it. She is within it. Right? It's all interconnected. It's not even all interconnected. It's all one. But that's on a deeper level. I don't even really understand those things, but you will get more about it. I'm every day writing about those type of things. And, like, yeah, that's really, those are the things that you need to be doing. You need to be thinking outside the box. I know it might sound strange for you for right now. What the fuck is he talking? The all and shit. You don't know it, but that's another way how you can solve trauma and actually accomplish your goals. Because if you don't live the life that you want to live right now, then the question is not if you are traumatized, but to what extent. And a lot of people still think trauma is getting somebody murdered or living in a war. So no, that's not trauma. Trauma is just a lasting change in the organism that makes sure that it doesn't, that it can't really complete its life purpose anymore, which is growth. So trauma is just the thing that, trauma is just like, it's just the mental conditions that you have that stop you from growing. And like I've said, growing is accomplishing your vision, solving problems for the world. And if you can do that, and you feel like that you have those, that they will judge you, he will judge you, she will judge you, this and that, you hear all those voices within your mind, then you're traumatized. And that's why I say, like, trauma is not something wishy-washy. And that's also what I'm really trying to talk about, because a lot of people still think it's something that, like, only them, a couple people, which is just another form of separation. Only them, a couple people are dealing with trauma. No, it's not that. It's not that. Trauma is within everything, and anybody that's not able to do the things that he wants to do, and that is the person that's not able to bridge the gap from thinking and doing. So thinking about the vision and actually doing the vision, because all, like I've said, all the poor people, all the unsuccessful people, all the unhappy people, what do you think? Do you think that they don't think? They think too. They had goals. They had goals. They maybe they're still, like, believing, telling themselves, like, yeah, one day I'm gonna get back on it. They all had those goals, but the thing is, the doing, that's where they were That's where they were harmed. That's where they were hurted. So, like I've said, it often starts with your parents, right? Your parents judge you for something that you were doing. So you were thinking something, which is this basically reflects your younger child's vision. So that's what he wanted. That's what he thought, and now he was gonna do it. That's what you thought, and now you were gonna do it. But you got judged from it, and see how that that dynamic will continue to rule your world. So now you're thinking just as when you were doing. Now you're thinking about starting a business just as when you were like 3 years old. But you hear these voices of people, which basically you hear these voices of people, or you see those faces from people that think that will judge you, right? Those people that live in your mind, that you think daily about, that they are thinking about you, that they are judging you, things like that. You see their voices like, what will they think about me? Will they think I'm weak? Will they think I'm weird? That's just basically the dynamic that was created with your parents. And now it's reflected in those people like, nah, man, if I'm gonna start a business, they will judge me. But the judgment really started from your parents. It's now just reflected onto other people because you're no longer that dependent of your parents anymore. Now you define with other social groups, because when you were just a child, it was only you and your parents. Now you're inside the outside world, so the people that will judge you are also the outside world. Can still be your parents, of course, but it's probably a mixture of that. But business will solve all those things, because what you need to do is you're fighting your mind every day. That's like the thing of healing trauma. That's the thing that you will need to do to heal trauma, is gain back that sense of that you can trust yourself. The only way how you will do that is through doing the things that you're thinking about but you were scared to do, which is basically the entire purpose of business. That's why I say, like, and I've thought deep about this. I wrote about this, and that's why how I realized, like, business is modern day spirituality. It's a vehicle for modern day spirituality. Because remember, spirituality is just being. The more you can bridge the gap from thinking and doing, so which is recreating your vision in the physical world, the more you can be, the more you are, the more you can feel whole. Why? Because nobody can do you anything if you have just created your vision inside that you had inside your mind. Nobody can do you anything. You'll feel like unstoppable. Why? Because you are able to bridge the gap from thinking to doing, which is the entire thing of life. You really need to let this sink in your mind. The only reason why you will not do anything is because you're thinking about it. The thinking is not combined with the doing. That's the only thing. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. If you feel shame about this or that, it's only that you're thinking about it without taking action. You're letting the thinking overrule you. Once you realize those type of things, you're gonna take steps. Once you realize, like, it's only my mind. Outside of your mind, nothing exists. Nothing exists outside of your own mind. And I'm still writing about it, but like mind is something crazy, and my idea about it right now is, like, you are born with, like, your brain, and your brain, like, has, like, a certain vibration, and the brain picks up thoughts, but the thoughts aren't even you. They get passed on to you because you share the vibration. And if you're gonna think about it, that's the entire thing of destiny, right? That's the entire thing of purpose. So if your brain chose the vibration of that thought, and that thought made sure that you did something, and that thing led to a negative thing in your life, it wasn't even negative really at the end of the day, because it was just the reflection of it was just the reflection of the thought that you picked up. And I remember, like, I had, like, back in the day, I had, like, a spiritual teacher, and he told me, like, the problems that you have in your life, you chose those problems. And still sounds crazy to me, but like I've said, you need to start thinking about these things. These type of things are the way how you will step out of the matrix, because it's kind of funny, right? Everybody always talking about the matrix, but like I've said, it only exists mental. So the only way how you step out of the matrix is not thinking like them. Thinking for yourself. Bro, start writing start writing about, okay, what do I actually think the world is about? Start writing about those things. What is the world actually about? And just let your mind go crazy as fuck. Just let everything out, like, okay, I think like aliens did this and that, and that's how, bro, it's, bro, like once you have that like type of that kind of like craziness, because like understand, I'm telling you this, but the thing about like the how it's not facts. Facts don't even exist. Facts are subjective. Even if you think about a metric system, like, it's a fact that this thing is like what, 10 centimeters, but who the fuck made those 10 centimeters? It was somebody made with a mind, so it's subjective. Reality is subjective. Reality is the way you want to see it. And that's beautiful, because that means you can create your own reality. If you can envision that reality, you can create it through small irrational steps. This might all sound crazy, but that's how you, like I've said, this is how you create your dream. Like, this is how you step out of the matrix. This is how you become yourself. That's how you can do whatever the fuck you want. Nothing is too crazy if you really think about it, because like, crazy is just another subjective of mind that people judge, like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, but the thing that everybody doing, which always leads to failure and people being unhappy and people being sick, oh, that's normal, right? Okay, cool. Those are things that you, like I've said, like, it's all within the all. So I can't even really judge it too fiercely, but that's what you need to start thinking about, to free up your mind. And freeing up your mind is freeing up your life, because like I've said, the first aspect of creation is the mind, is mental. So freeing up your mentality is freeing up your physical reality. And I think with that, I'm gonna end this video. And yeah, bro, like, that was just my video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Let me know, yeah, in the comments whichever topic you wanna get on my channel, like if it's related to like self-improvement business, spirituality, and like, bro, self-improvement business and all those things are a broad aspect, so we can basically talk about whatever. So just let me know in the comments, and I'm gonna leave down my bio of Twitter, my profile of Twitter in the bio, so feel free to check that out. And like, yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. And that was basically my video. And yeah, don't take nothing as facts, just take it as, just like I've said, don't take nothing as facts. Nothing is facts. So not even my video, but just take it, all the things that you need to see, need to start your own thinking process. That's basically what you need to do. So reflect on how did my video make you think. If it made you think crazy, okay, write about it. Why does it feel crazy for me? Is it because I'm just judging it too fiercely, or is it, think about those things. Think about those things, and you will regain your mind back. And regaining back your mind is regaining back your entire reality. And that was my video for today. I'm out.